Satya said that I should be speaking a few words. So I will ensure that I don't bore you guys. I'll keep it short and sweet. First of all, I'm very happy to listen to what both Satya and Mr. said about Srushti College. This places for academics and values. I think that is the biggest differentiator. I'm very happy to hear that. Mr. Nairan also mentioned about holistic development. So in the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to talk about only that. So you will find a lot of repetition because they have already mentioned what I was planning to tell you. So I also heard that you are all Gen Z. So you can imagine what Gen I belong to. I'm a Gen 00. Oldies. But let me tell you, most of what I'm going to share with you today, 95%, is what I picked up in my school days, which was way back in 1967 when I passed out. You can imagine it's almost 60 years, right? So the point I'm trying to highlight is that there are fundamentals in life which haven't changed. Despite AI, despite computers, despite all kinds of geopolitical change in the world, there are fundamentals about human beings which just don't change. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of my own experience from my school days and the way we were brought up in school. First of all, I'm very happy that this orientation day is being organized and celebrated like this. Because I think all of you are going through a very important stage in your life. So it is a very key transition point. You are moving from school into your adult life in college. From your rigorous discipline in school, you are now entering an arena of freedom. So there's going to be a lot of freedom, new opportunities, new teachers, new friends, new experiences. So you are poised at the entrance to your adult life. And as much as it affords a lot of opportunities and exciting times, it's also going to be very challenging. So this is the time to hone your fundamental approach to life. So that you not only cash in on the opportunities, but you also survive the challenges there. So this is what I have kept in mind in sharing with you today what I am going to do. I did a little homework before coming here, so I've got 2 pages of notes. But don't worry, I'm not going to bore you. We'll make it short and simple. I thought a good place to start would be to touch upon what do you expect of college life? When you leave here 3 years from now, what is going to be your takeaway? You know, takeaway, everybody talks about takeaway and the restaurant, Swiggy and so on. So what is going to be your takeaway 3 years from now when you leave this college? What is that? Memories, of course. This is Nairan said, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to make some great friendships. Absolutely right. So, knowledge, very important, very important.
A well-defined identity.
Sorry.
A well-defined identity.
Very interesting, very interesting. I like that. Only thing is, who is going to define the question?
Research.
Yeah. So obviously you have an opportunity to define your own identity based on your experiences in this college. And to that experience, your friends and colleagues are going to contribute, and also the faculty, the teachers. So interesting, very interesting. Now I have put down 3 things that you can look at working towards as your takeaways when you leave 3 years from now. The first one is a combination of knowledge, skills, and attitudes. The second is a strong character. And the third is leaving here as a responsible human being. And just expand on each of these a little. So knowledge is obvious, like somebody mentioned here. So you're all either doing BCom or BBA or BBA or whatever. So obviously the first priority is to imbibe knowledge in your respective chosen areas. So when you leave here, you must be an expert in accounting. If you're doing BCom or you must understand economics well if you're doing BBA, or you must understand the basics of management if you're doing BBA here. So knowledge of the subject is the first and foremost thing, which means studying well and expanding your mental horizons. Second is skills. Now I was running through your website here, which talks about inculcating skills like leadership skills, entrepreneurial skills, and innovative skills. All three are extremely important in today's world if you want to succeed. Not only in commercial organization, but in any aspect of your life. The third thing is, I thought you must develop the right set of attitude. And in that, the first thing I will talk about is humility. See, humility teaches you a lot of things. You are going to be joining organizations when you leave this college. I can tell you from my 40 years experience in the commercial world that humility is a great asset. It helps you to learn better, it helps you to be a better team member, and it helps you to get wide acceptance in your organization. And also it gives you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, that you can achieve things in life without throwing your weight around. So humility is a very important attitude that you must be here with. The second thing is to be a lifelong learner. I found that also on your website, that the college believes in making each one of you lifelong learners. Now today's world is so rapidly changing thanks to technology. I mean, you wake up in the morning, what you did yesterday is no longer valid. It's that kind of change that is taking place. So how do we keep pace with this change? The only answer is to learn. To learn, and continuously learn. And learn from every source. Not just books, not just teachers, but from every source that you come across in your life. Juniors, seniors, peers, anybody. And learning requires two fundamental characteristics. One is curiosity and the other is observation. So you need to cultivate both these to become a lifelong learner. So that is the second attitude that I will talk about. The third thing in terms of attitude is to become a team player. See, whatever you do in life, you are not going to be doing it alone. You are going to do it in teams. Whether it's in the companies that you join, or in your society, in your community, wherever, whatever you choose to do, you are going to be operating in teams. So it's very important for you to learn to be an effective team member. So that requires an attitude by itself. That you put the team ahead of yourself. So in this I've got an interesting thing to share. You know, the Indian Army, they have a motto. Like most organizations have, they have a motto. Now given their role, you know what the Indian Army does. So their motto is something like this. My country comes first, my men come next, and I come last. Just think about this motto. It's such a beautiful motto. My country comes first. So you've got to be absolutely clear about what you're trying to do in any given situation in life. What is your objective? What are your goals? And based on that goals, you decide your priority. So obviously if you're in the army, the country comes first. The next line of the motto doesn't say that my men come second. It says my men come next. Next to the country. Next to the most important goal. And that symbolizes the importance of teamwork. The men are equal to team. Men here and women both. So equal to team. So that is the importance of team. And third part of the motto says, again, it doesn't say I come third, it says I come last. No? So last emphasizes the fact that in the scheme of things, you have to be selfless. You have to promote your team and you have to work for your goal. So being a team player is a very important aspect of the attitude you must develop before you leave this college. The last dimension of attitude is being adaptive. We just talked about the rate of change in today's world, thanks to technology. So how do you keep pace with it? So you must develop a mindset of being adaptive. Don't be rigid. You know, it's like a tall tree which doesn't bend in the way it breaks. So not that bends, stay alive. So the bending is the adaptation. So you keep adapting to changes in your life. And that adaptation comes A through the attitude of having an adaptive attitude, and secondly through the process of learning, being a lifelong learner. So combination of these two will enable you to keep pace with change. And change is going to be not just in your office. There's going to be change in your life, in your personal life. Tomorrow you get married, you're going to have children, you're going to have developed brand new expertise in bringing up children. And that's getting very complex these days. So you got to constantly learn and constantly adapt. Both of these are mindsets and attitudes that you must cultivate consciously in your next 3 years in business. I mentioned that the second thing that you must take away from here. First one is, just to summarize, knowledge, skills and attitudes. The second one is a strong character. The purpose of education is not just to produce some accountants and some managers and some other degree holders. It is to develop holistic human beings. So when you go from here, you should be a holistic human being. And in that, a strong character is very, very essential. So what do I mean by strong character? The first thing is values. You should be value-centric. Your life should be centered on values. Values like, again it was spoken about by Mr.K.Vidyanath, values like integrity, good old honesty, old-fashioned honesty, basic honesty, everything that we do. So integrity is the first thing. Second thing is compassion. You are going to be living in a community, in a society, in a country where everybody will not be as privileged as you are. So compassion will help you to reach out to them. Compassion will help you to work better with teams, even in companies. Compassion helps you to work better with teams. Compassion helps you to develop your team members. So compassion is a very important second value. The third value is gratitude. See, like humility, gratitude brings you down to earth. You know, it brings you down. It makes sure that you don't lose your head. It makes sure that you don't lose your sense. And the fact that you are grateful to people who have helped you along the way will keep you grounded, humble, and most importantly, inspire you to do things for others. So, three important values: integrity, gratitude, and compassion. The second aspect of building a strong character is what I call courage and conviction. Conviction is your belief system. What you believe is the right thing to do in life. And you must have the courage to do that. No matter what, have the courage to follow your conviction. So courage of conviction is what really builds character. The third aspect of a good character is discipline. Discipline and hard work. There is nothing possible in life, there are no shortcuts. So day in, day out, you need to work at what you want to achieve. So that discipline and hard work is extremely important. That's what builds solid fundamental character. The third aspect of the third takeaway. The first takeaway was knowledge, skills and attitude. Second was building a strong character. And the third is being a responsible human being. So what does that mean? Being responsible means being aware of your duties to various segments of your life. Duties to your parents, your family, your community, your groups, your fellow students, or when you join an organization, to your teams, to the organization itself, the one that is paying you, the one that is developing you. So your duties, being aware of your duties and fulfilling those duties is the number one aspect of being a responsible human being. Second thing is to be a law-abiding citizen. Again, we are living in a country which is governed by laws. We are a democracy, the largest in the world. So being a law-abiding citizen is a very important aspect of being a responsible human being. This is being a contributor to your community. That's a very important aspect of being a responsible human being. Again, being aware of your duties to your community and contributing to the community fundamentally means helping the weak and the vulnerable. See, no society can thrive and sustain if everybody doesn't move forward. Now, unfortunately, everybody doesn't have the same level of capabilities. So the strong must step in and help the weak. The strong must step in and help the vulnerable. So that is contributing to your community. So that kind of completes what it means to be a responsible human being. So just to summarize again, the three takeaways you must concentrate in the next 3 years is knowledge, skills and attitudes, strong character, and being a responsible human being.